we just had plans, and I had talked to Doc. I'm like, man, I spent a lot of money in Paris already. He like, I get it. If you gotta do what you gotta do, and I sat on it for a couple of days. I'm like, man, I can't miss this. I'm like, I can't miss this.
Big Boy's Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the neighborhood, always a pleasure to have him in the neighborhood, man. Roddy Ricch, welcome back to the neighborhood. You over there counting money, huh?
Come on, man.
He was looking at his phone like, all right, when the tour started, all right, cool. But now, welcome back to the neighborhood, bro. Pleasure to see you, man. First thing, I mean, there's so much to talk to you about, man, but the first thing we was kind of talking about off air is what we had a chance to bear witness to, man, with Ken and Friends.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how you could have been anywhere in the world, but we made sure we were there. And you say you canceled Paris?
Yeah, Paris Fashion Week, we canceled.
Oh, shoot. Like, Fashion Week is big.
Yeah.
So, man, but you knew that you had to be at home.
I talked to, because we had, we just had plans, and I had talked to Doc. I'm like, man, I spent a lot of money in Paris already. He like, I get it. If you got to do what you got to do. And I sat on it for a couple of days. I'm like, man, I can't miss this. I'm like, I can't miss this. You know what I mean?
Man, and you know what's crazy about that, man, is like, I always say, man, I can't go watch somebody else work when I'm working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So when you
right.
think like, man, no, we already had that. That's Roddy Ricch in Paris.
Come on.
That's Fashion Week.
Yeah,
That's, that's my bread. That's my time. That's my shine.
Right.
But for you, there's probably
It's
not
bigger
too
than
many.
us.
Boom. There's probably not too many things you would have said.
It's bigger than us, man. It's a blessing to just see everybody, and just with everybody from the different communities just being together and being able to fellowship together.
Oh, man.
Even outside of the stage, just backstage, you know what I mean? Being able to shake hands, just see everybody. It's just something you couldn't pay for. It's something you couldn't never recreate.
Yeah.
It's never going to be a moment like that ever again.
We were saying that, man.
Ever.
And nothing that you'll say, oh, I'll catch it the next time.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
It'll never feel like what that felt like,
Right.
bro. And just even the lead up into it. With everything from, the months of, going through the disses and then the lead up. I was telling people, I was like, man, I don't want to know who the and friends are. I want to watch that from the audience. I want to watch it as a spectator.
Yeah.
But I ain't going to lie to you, Roddy Ricch, as well, man. When everybody started going on stage, I was like, fuck that. I'm getting up there. You know what I'm saying? Even when I slapped hands with you, you were like, you up here too?
I told you a staple, big.
Thank you, brother.
A staple, man.
Yeah, it was
You a
very
staple.
necessary. How did that feel knowing, man, you could have been anywhere and then coming out and what that crowd felt like for you? Because I'm in the audience watching this, Roddy.
I said it. It's just no place like home.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people don't know. We really calm town. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
man.
really calm town. So it just was a blessing to see it, man. It was. I was really a witness. Like even when everybody was up there, I had took some time to just kind of move to the side of the stage. I'm just like looking. You know what I mean? Because you can be in the moment, but sometimes I just like to like embrace that energy and just see what's going on and really be a student.
Yeah, that's what I do too, man. You got to step outside of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I choose to watch a lot of the shows from the audience, man, because you got to step out and look. And I look at the crowd, man, and everybody in there, Roddy. You saw it backstage, on stage, around the stage.
Right.
But and just looking at the crowd, you saw how happy everybody was.
Yeah.
Like it was a different energy, man. And I think we needed that.
We needed it.
Yeah, man.
We needed it.
Yeah.
Man.
So what do we do with it now?
I feel like we just, we got a responsibility.
Yeah, man.
Just in day-to-day life. Outside of the business, outside of whatever we do, occupational wise. It's just sowing seeds and investing in people. You know what I mean?
Man.
I think that's the best thing and investing on ourselves.
We got to, and you saw that.
For sure.
Invest in
for
you.
Sure. Come on.
Hey, man, and you came to the neighborhood once before, man, and you had shared a story with us about Dot early on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I'm paraphrasing, it was just kind of like you were young. If you weren't even a teenager, you had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And that's a young kid going up to somebody that's a little bit ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he took you. What did he say to you? What did you ask him? What did he say at that time?
I had rap for him young, just the typical,
Yeah,
rap
can
for
I?
him. Yeah, rap
man.
for him. And we was honestly at church. We was at church.
Yeah, I remember that.
His girl, mom worked in the kitchen, and my mom worked in the church real deep, So, just knowing who he was at that time, it was rigor mortis. I think swimming pools had just came out. it was right before I think he was going on tour with Dre. That was the word. But I ain't know really. I was too young.
Yeah, you
really
young.
know, you know. So he was doing his thing, and you know, I just seized the opportunity to talk to a great, you know, and he definitely just told me I could do it, you know, and I held on to the words for a long
man,
time.
and you probably held on to those words and thought about it a lot too, Roddy.
Still to this day.
Yeah, and that's what I was
To this
going to
day.
ask, man. When you walk out and you see the farm in Inglewood, something that we've been to, passed by, been in there before, and you've held down L.A. anyway.
Come on.
But when you walk out and you see that, do you reflect back to that time with
That
Kendrick
kid, man,
and
that
that
kid.
phone call now? Like, man, you know, I can understand if you can't be there.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but you show
Nah,
up.
I mean, you know, with doing some thinking, it was without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like I had to. It was no other option. You
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
for him to even, you know, for me, it was like I know everybody was there, but for them to reach out and be like, man, you got to be there.
A part of it.
You know, that was like bigger than anything.
Yeah, and no
you know?
disrespect, because everybody didn't get the call.
No,
You know?
yeah, not
Yeah.
everybody, but
Yeah, but
the
no,
homies.
but
you
I'm
know what
talking
I mean?
about
The
so when you
homies.
get the call, it's like it's special.
Right,
It's
right.
different, bro.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And that
right.
call came straight from Dot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I have been working on.
They definitely didn't call me. I barged on the stage. I ain't gonna lie to you, Roddy. I was like,
It just, you know, our circle just as far as a coast has been getting a bit closer. You know,
Mhm.
I've been working with Terrence Martin.
yeah, man,
Real heavy.
extremely talented too.
Real heavy. He's one of my good mentors now. For the last maybe 8 months, 6 months, we've just been powwowing every day.
And Terrence,
You know.
he is real quiet. You know how somebody they
Yeah.
do music and
Opinionated though.
yeah, oh yeah, as he should be.
For sure.
As he
For
should
sure.
be, but
For
he
sure.
not one of those where it's like, oh, he loud, he in here, and he let his
right.
work speak for himself.
Right.
And sometimes I'm like, Terrence, you need to.
But that's T Martin though. That's T Martin, and I feel like, you know, those caliber of guys, they just have a poise to them. You know, from Kendrick, you know, to Soundwave to Terrace, you know, they have a poise about them. They really love music, and they're very spiritual. You know, so they just protect they oasis.
Are
They
y'all
do
working
they thing.
together right now? When you said that, man,
yeah. He working
Is
on
that
my
the
next
new
album
album?
with me. Yeah.
And the new album, when does that come?
It's coming soon.
Yeah, so you know, are you done?
I'm still working.
Yeah.
Working.
When do you know it's done? You know how sometimes you're like, man, I just need one more. This doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's just that gut feeling and a wise guy, you know, I've been talking to a part of the album. He told me, he said, when you can accept where you were at that time, you know, when you can listen back to the album and accept
Right.
where you were at that time, and you can stand on everything you say, that's when you know your album is done.
and you feel it's close, or you know it's there.
Right.
And the album is called the Navy album.
The Navy album,
Why?
It's named after my daughter.
Gotcha. Your
Yeah.
daughter's name Navy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Navy.
that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Is there a reason behind naming your daughter Navy? Now, I know why you named the album.
Yeah,
Navy.
yeah.
Is there- or
it's
is
a
that
few,
personal?
It's a few reasons.
Gotcha.
You know, it's a few reasons. The color navy is it represents authority, you know, power, and you know, I just feel like having a daughter in this day and time and in this stage of life, you definitely want to empower your kids.
Yes, sir.
And be there for them.
How old is she, if you don't mind my asking?
No, she ain't born yet.
Oh, you talking about the one that's coming?
Yeah, this is the
Oh.
name. You know.
Wait, bro. So the baby that's not here, you already got your. So that's power in the name already.
Yeah,
then.
Navy.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fan. You know, the world just accepting that, and Navy's coming, the Navy era. You know, it's like it's Navy time. You know what I mean? It's Navy
Man,
time.
is it different now? You know, when we have our kids, is the work and the grind a little bit different? Because at first we can kind of just get up and go, and it's about us.
Right.
Now every move that we make is pretty much sometimes for somebody else.
Right.
You know, how do you
Right.
separate Roddy, the artist that you got to share with us, and you as a father?
I feel like, honestly speaking, when I had my first son, it was during a time where a lot was going on. I was working on Antisocial, you know, so I was having my son working on Antisocial.
But your son not named Antisocial, is he?
No.
Okay, just check.
No. But the crazy thing about him is he's autistic.
Really though, he's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Did you know that while you were working on the album, like through testing or anything? Oh,
no,
wow.
No, he wasn't born yet.
Right, but no
same situation, just like this situation, but he wasn't born yet. And I mean, I knew as a parent, you know, at 6 months looking at him and certain things, and you know, but it just it's power in what we speak,
Yeah.
you know, and what we stand for, you know. So I think this process it's a bit nostalgic for me, and just being in this place is a blessing. You know
Hey
what I mean?
man,
It's a
is
blessing.
it different now with having hits and accolades and having a catalog? Is it harder to record now because there's a standard and you're in competition with yourself and your work?
I think the way I've been thinking about it is I really just want my fans to have this experience with me. You know, we spiritual beings having a physical experience, and this music could be the soundtrack to that physical experience, you know, and touch them spiritually.
Do you get that a lot from people?
What?
Like, because there's songs from you, bro, that's you know, and we say this about Kendrick as well. There's a few people that know how to use their voice as an instrument
To get at you.
You know what I'm saying? And you know how to use your voice
yeah.
as an instrument with what you do with it.
Come on.
And so I know that you have people that come up to you and say, either this was my favorite, this changed this, this is where I went to for such and such.
Right.
And at one point, I'm pretty sure you had that being a music consumer where certain things felt that.
Of course.
And now you get it where people say, this is my song, and this made me feel a certain way.
Yeah. And I think that is what, you know, and you brought up earlier, no chains, no jewelry. I got an earring on, 5 carat still. You
As
know.
you should, brother.
But,
you know what I'm saying? I think you didn't wear any jewelry because I'm always begging for it.
No,
no,
I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell me.
You know, the younger version of Roddy used to identify success with things. You know, even though I made music for spiritual reasons, I still, my physical man, I used to identify, you know, success with things. You know what I'm saying? Cars, jewelry, you know, houses, you know, all the shit. And I feel like where I'm at a point in my life right now, I identify success with who I am within, you know?
At 25.
Right.
And at 25, with some people say, oh man, you have the world. You know what I'm saying? And at 25 and having the world, bro, we supposed to do the things that you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then to say, man, it's not about that.
It's not.
That's crazy,
you know,
bro.
I had to learn that the hard way.
How so?
I learned that the hard way, man. After my first album, you know, I'm true to it. I don't run from it. You know, I'm not shy from it. A lot of people think that, you know, when we have these maybe shortcomings, maybe it doesn't reach the expectation of the people that's consuming the music or maybe just watching, you know.
Right, watching more so. Not
just
consuming.
just watching.
Because it's the people that have their arms crossed and, you know, they're
just watching.
Yeah,
waiting,
they're just watching. Yeah.
Waiting, you know what I mean? But you know, on that end of it, it's like I feel like I had to dig deep, you know, with everything that I was going through, because I had everything, but I felt like I had nothing at the same time, man. Like I had a house in I showed DJ Head the picture. I had a house in Calabasas that I was staying at until my house in Beverly Hills was finished. And I was so fucked up that I would take trips to Miami all the time on a PJ. I would take trips all the time. I never furnished my house. I had a mattress in my master bedroom, and I would come home from the studio. I would just sleep on it and go to the studio, come back, sleep on it. And I would go to Miami and do my thing. I had probably about 250 in the drawer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for real. You know, I sure had this. You know,
It's crazy, man, because there's a difference between a house and a home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but
and you trying to find it too.
Right.
And it's crazy because when you look for it, you're like, man, no, this was supposed to make me happy.
Right.
This was supposed to be it. This, like, why am I tripping? And then you also think like, man, it's this thing where it's like, I should be happy.
Right.
You know, and it's not always automatic.
Yeah, I mean, happiness.
And you are happy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Happiness is a moving target, you know what I mean? But back at that time, it was like I told you, it's just things. You know, thinking that, Okay, I live down the house, down the street from da da. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be in. I got the Maybach. I got the. All right, I'm cool. Like that's nothing. You know what I mean? Now I could pull up to my little cousin Luck's graduation. You know what I mean? And that makes me happy. Or my family can congregate at my house now, and we cook tacos. You know what I mean? Everybody got the Christmas pajamas, everybody together. We got family coming from out of town. Those are the things that make me happy. It's not necessarily, you know, the things that you acquire just with the success.
I think that's just,
that's
what I have.
What you acquire. Like, it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's fun. I ain't gonna lie. You got to do it. But,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it is when you start to feel like, man, this ain't what it's all about.
Right.
And some people, man, too, Roddy, before they get there, and I don't know what it costs you, and not money-wise, but it costs people dearly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's either, you know, catching a situation, whatever it may be, before you realize, like, man, this ain't it.
Yeah.
This definitely ain't. But you also can't. I always tell people, you can't apologize for your success either. Because you did things and do things that other people won't do.
Right.
And you capitalize off your talent.
Right.
But if you saying I didn't feel it, then I understand what you're saying there.
Come on.
And when I was talking about being in a position where you're in competition with yourself, I saw something where it was like, and I'm paraphrasing, where if you said, if I had $1 for every time somebody said I fell off,
I'd be a billionaire.
I'd be a billionaire.
Yeah.
This device right here is the gift and the curse, because this is where you see most of the people that talk the most shit. You know what I'm saying? What did that, I know what it means, but what did that mean to you if I got $1 for every time?
Coming up, man, I had some struggles, you know, coming out of my neighborhood, you know, definitely there, you know, but when you begin to have success, it's like certain people talk, you know, and then you have some people that say, you know, you just keep doing what you're doing, it'll quiet down. And I felt like, you know, then I reached this kind of global or worldwide success. Then it just got worse. It was
man.
It was like the world turned into the hood.
Yeah, it got bigger and bigger.
You know what I mean? It was like that. So I started realizing that I had to kind of like, I got to deal with that. As a man, how do I deal with this back and forth? Because I'm always gonna deal with it, whether it's being from the hood or, you know, being in front of the world or, you know, wherever it take you. You know what I mean? And I feel like to put it into perspective, it's just, you know, it's just spectators, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
just spectators, and
It takes some time to get there.
a lot of people don't understand you,
and it takes a lot of time.
That's
to get
okay
there.
though,
right?
It's okay. You don't gotta understand.
But you gotta arrive there though, because even on my end, bro, I don't do like comments and you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Because you can see 100 great ones, it be that one, and you're like, oh.
Damn, I was thinking that low key.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn, like,
Right.
oh, this should have been. But it's crazy, man, because and people always say, oh man, when it come with the business, and I'm like, nah, a lot of that don't come with the business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that we're now entitled to even more of an opinion that could reach us. You know, I come from when it was, you know, a music critic wrote about your album. Or you know what I'm saying? And now it's like your album ain't even came out yet and your album is whack.
Right.
To somebody. They just waiting. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like if I could, you know, if I could give some advice, I think that as musicians, as artists, as you know, people of, you know, who have an art or who have an influence, once you give your gift to the world, it's the world's at that point.
Right.
You know, so they could do what they will. Maybe they appreciate it 30 years from then. Maybe they appreciate it then. You just never know. And you might be able to change some lives. There might be 2 or 3 lives that needed saving at that point, you know, and you got to just stay humble and appreciate those things, you know, I think, rather than looking at the whole big.
And that's why you got to look into it as well, too, though.
Right.
What about the new album, man? With the new album, is it a different process going in now as opposed to anything that we've heard before? And I do also say that because the accolades, the business, the bar that you set, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think I'm just kicking it with more of my homies that appreciate music. You know, I think as a culture, you know, I'll speak for LA specifically. We come from a place to where, you know, we live in a different thing to where music is kind of secondary. You know what I mean? Music is secondary. So music helps us to make it out of certain things, and we don't really put too much pressure on that. even if it changed our lives, even if it done some things for our family, you know. So I'm at a point where I'm appreciating music, and I'm standing for niggas who appreciate music, you know. So you have a James Fauntleroy in the room.
Yes,
you have
sir.
a Terrace Martin in the room, a Soundwave, a 30 Rock. He did the box with me, and grabbing these young guys, even Low the Great. You know, you had these young producers that we working with, and we taking them to these guys who appreciate music, because I think that we want to tell the young people that, you know, we get it. We come from this certain place, but you know, when you make it to this stage, it's time to appreciate the process. Let the world see who you are, but you know, have some outside, you know, some guys who've been there before to be able to tell your story and and let it read through the music. I think that's what we trying to do as a New West. We wanna bring that storytelling, that real music, that, you know, that back, but not just for me, for
I was gonna ask you that too, man, because already, you know, Roddy Ricch, you're a name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're extremely talented. And we say this out of your presence as well.
Come on, appreciate
But you
it.
put
Yeah,
yourself in a
appreciate it,
room where somebody can still normalize you and equalize you, and you still listen to the James Fauntleroys, the Terrace Martins of the world. But even the young, even the young, you know what I'm saying? Because some people like, man, I did this. This is what I do.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody saying, man, maybe
them is gurus, man.
Right.
Them is gurus. When I'm saying those names, I don't say them lightly. Those are gurus. You know what I mean? They know about that pen. They know about that album process. They know a lot. Even Mustard.
And you trust
know
the
what
words?
I mean? Yeah, I you know, they my homies. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
we gonna have some spits and spats, so we go back and forth.
But
about
it's all
things,
in good,
but
like
it's
looking
all-
out for
it's
you the
all
right
in
way.
Sport, you know what I mean? You gonna have a young buck that come off the bench. He can drop 30, but you like, man, but you got to get back on defense, and you got to get some rebounds, and you got to whoop. That's what they own with me.
Right.
You can drop 30, but I need you to get back on defense, and I need you to whoop, and I needed that.
It's
you know what I mean?
crazy
I
to
needed
hear
that.
you speak too, because at 25, you the BG and the OG. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that, man, because you just said all that in just your last breath, where it's like, man, you know the youngsters, but then you listen to the other guys, you the BG, but you know you the OG to others, and plus you're approving a path.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So just being you saying nah, I listen. Because at some point,
It's
man, we
bigger
think we
than
know
us,
it all.
man.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just me, man. Like, if I can use my platform, my albums to showcase that this is what it's about, that can change 10 other careers where I
Gotcha.
come from. You know what I mean? So I think that's really a focus of ours. You know what I mean? It's really a focus.
Hey, man, what do you feel like just when, like, the changes, not just in the city, but just the changes in the genres? Because, and the reason why I asked that, man, is it feel like a few years ago, Roddy, without saying any names, we felt real goofy. And I'm not talking about from the West Coast. I'm talking about just music. I was like, man, and not the older dude in the room. I was just like, man, this is just trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you're starting to see, you know, lyrics are coming back, albums are coming back. It's not people just pissing on their plaques talking about, oh, I just got in and I'm trying to make a bag.
Yeah.
You seeing the art come back.
Yeah.
Are you noticing that as well?
Yeah, I think it has to do with us being so in tune. See, the phone is a gift and a curse. It's a gift because now we get to see the authentic, you know, the authentic cut of people, you know, and so that bleeds through the music. It bleeds through how they come through that camera and everything you see around that brand. So, you know, I just think that it's a gift. You know, we holding people accountable, you know, and I think that's a good thing for the sport. You know?
How do you stay out of your own way too, though? You know how sometimes it's like, man, I can't go there because I don't think my fans are gonna hear me there, or you know, I can't put that out, or just good enough. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, somebody this is sounding like this right now. Like, how do you stay out of your own way where you say, even with the, you know, if I had $1 for every time, like the people that the chatter that's in there and the self-doubt, how do you stay out of your own way to say, you know what, man, I can't listen to that. Yeah, I can't be a part of that. I gotta trust me. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's the art of humbleness. You know, it's the art of humbleness. I think it's just being unapologetically me.
Were you humbled?
I never let a hard time humble me.
Right.
I don't.
But you know.
But have to stay humble though. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I think it comes with
Gotcha.
age. Like, just gotta stay humble and let your light shine. You know, however bright or it might be dim sometimes, but just keep letting it shine. You're gonna have your times. You know what I mean?
What changed? because I didn't see anything, Roddy, where I was like, man, this dude got like a rude awakening, man. Or this dude is double jointed and sucking his own dick. You know what I'm saying?
I don't do that, big.
But I didn't see it change where I'm like, yeah, he finally understands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Were there personal struggles or things that was just that didn't go to the public as much that you was like, man, I gotta switch this, I gotta change
I
this.
told you, bro. I mean, come on, man. It's just, you know, sitting with myself, man. Sitting with myself and not being satisfied with myself.
That quiet get loud, huh?
Yeah.
When it's quiet, it get loud.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, just sitting with yourself, man. You gotta self-reflect, and just want to get better every day. You know what I mean? Just shoot for being better, and you know, like I said, family as well. Family, being around my aunties. My aunties are like my sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom pretty young. She had me at 19.
yes, sir.
So my aunties is like my sisters, and having them around me, you know, with my guys around me, certain guys, you know, like a lot of this shit that happened, it allowed, you know, niggas to kind of fall from where it was at.
The process of elimination.
You know what I mean? So, you know, having my guys around, you know, Bird, the one that called you for the you know, the text thing. I got an artist, Roddy Ricch, having my guy around me, you know what I mean? Don O'Keefe, all them niggas just being around and going through that with me, us navigating, you know what I mean, my family. I owe it to them, like, who I am today.
Success is powerful, huh?
Who I am today, yeah.
Yeah. And it could be, and like I say, it could be used as a gift, as a curse, but it's powerful. Even when I get on the mic, man, I've been on the mic 30 years, right? This is my 30-year anniversary, Roddy. And
congratulations.
I appreciate you, brother. When I call you for my show, you know what I'm talking about.
Come on.
I just threw that in there.
Come on,
but no,
come on.
it's like, man, you could tell people, like, at any point, man, I know I can get on this mic and I can tell people, man, fuck this place up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I can spew something in the streets that'll feel like, oh, okay, you know.
Right.
So you know how powerful your word is,
Right,
and how
right,
powerful and what you can do with it. And when you say, man, it's about me, it's about family, it's a different thing because people listen to you. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
And the same way when I saw Kendrick on stage, right? Kendrick did his material, but at no point did you hear him say, man, fuck Drake and tear this. You know what I'm saying? It was just like we were
wasn't
there.
about that.
Yeah, it was about a celebration. And it wasn't about hate for, it was about the love for.
But a lot of people aren't gonna understand that because they not where we from.
Right,
You know what I mean? They
Gotcha,
not where we
gotcha.
from. They think, oh, I see gangbangers up there. Ooh, they tripping. Da 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 da. It's not about that.
Nah, man.
It's not about that. It's way bigger than that. You know what I mean?
Hell
Seeing
yeah.
all of them, bro. I'm still.
that was for us.
I'm still tripped out. I'm
Yeah.
just seeing. I'm seeing 3 different walks at the same time.
Yeah,
And
man.
a nigga understand that. That's 3 different walks. 3 different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the hand slaps and who was actually on stage and who in the
Come on,
audience.
come on,
You know what I'm saying?
come on.
Yeah. For those that know, we know what we had a chance to
Come
see.
on.
You know, and then whatever somebody else got out of it, you got that. That's beautiful
Yeah,
too.
and that's cool.
That's beautiful.
That's cool. But that
Hey,
was
man.
one of them ones.
When you first saw or when you first heard, like, and it's crazy because we say the Kendrick verse again.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? When you first heard the Kendrick verse and you hear, you know, Dot coming and you like, okay, what's going on here? When you first got
which one?
introduced to
Which
like
one?
that.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Pluto and Metro, them like that's like my, you know.
Did you know it was coming?
They on my Mount Rushmore.
Gotcha.
I knew it was coming. We heard, you know, we talked. So I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what it was.
Right.
I didn't know what it was. So, you know, we was at where was we at? I think we was at Larrabee when we listened to Future's album from front to back. But when,
Was that verse on there?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh
gotcha.
yeah. So, you know, we listened to it and we knew we had to strap up boots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then we see the back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy, and not enjoy like, oh, we killing it, but did you understand what that was when it was with Drake and when it was with Kendrick? Did you know, like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. There's
I
a
mean,
movement here.
what it was for hip hop, man. You had two of the biggest guys, you know, getting in the ring and boxing. You know, real sports shit. You know what I mean? And I think it was beautiful for the culture.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
I think it was beautiful for we never had that. You know what I mean? We never. I mean, not never, but we ain't had that in recent years.
Yeah, in recent years, and we haven't had it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah, you know,
No
and
pun
it just
intended.
felt,
Like
it just felt a little different. And you had two people that's on top of the game, on top of the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And whatever you call it, the sport, hip hop being competitive, you know, you saw it go back and forth. I've seen it get real crazy before back in the past.
Right.
And then you just went,
you know, it's beautiful.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
what
hello.
I mean?
Yeah.
Navy, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
hey man. And then when you saw what we had a chance to witness at the forum,
Yeah.
you know, you couldn't pen that. You couldn't write that. You couldn't that was like that wasn't a movie. That was a documentary. You couldn't write that.
Right.
That was just life, bro.
Come on.
And just to be there, it felt amazing. Yeah. And now you about to do. Are you ready for this whole run again?
You know, I feel
because
like
you're expecting. We had a chance to talk off air. You're expecting,
right,
and not only expecting, you know, the coming of Navy, the album, but you know your child.
Yeah, my daughter.
So you got a lot of work, personally and professionally ahead of you.
Yeah.
You ready for all this again?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I think if anybody built for it, I am. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Hey man, and when you say built for it, you've been here, and people say, oh, you've been here, you done that, but there's so much more I'm pretty sure you want to do that you haven't had a chance to experience yet.
I'm ready. I feel like I've been through some things to help me at this point in my life, and I'm ready.
Is it a different appreciation?
Definitely a different appreciation.
Yeah, that's crazy though, right?
yeah.
And not that you was like, man, F this, I deserve this, but when you get into a different zone, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just being, I think, Big, the real secret behind it all is just always staying grateful, man. It's always staying grateful for anything, man. Bowl of cereal, man. You got to just be grateful for your being, you know what I mean? And don't never get, and that's how you get in your own way. You're not grateful.
Right.
All right, I should be here. I have the opportunity to be here. I got the opportunity to give y'all another album. I got the opportunity to, you know, it's like those are the things that kind of start to shift the energy from the inside out. You know what I mean? Like,
do you enjoy doing music?
I do.
Do you enjoy the music business?
No.
Yeah. you enjoy music, but the music business is like the things that come with it sometimes too. And not that being, you know, we crying, oh, what was us? Yeah. But there's just
it's
things that
different.
come with it.
You know, it's a little different. I'm still learning that part of it. You know, blessed to have the people in my corner that, you know, support me in my decision making and also help me, guide me through the decision making. But, you know, it's definitely a beast, but like I said,
hey man, what about? And I probably ask you this with the enoughs, man. And I do ask people because we all got them. How do you deal with your enoughs? How do you deal with being Roddy enough, daddy enough, hood enough, corporate enough, street enough, homie enough? Like there's these enoughs that everybody got to deal with. How do you deal with your enoughs?
Big, I ain't gonna lie.
How do you deal with being homie enough?
I take it one day at a time, man. I think it's really one decision at a time. With everything, it's one decision.
It's not a broad stroke.
Nah, it's like, okay, today I got the opportunity to, you know, come to pull up on Big, my son at the crib. All right, I gotta go to the studio. Cool. I'm gonna go back to the house, chill with him for a little bit. We're gonna watch some TV, probably eat with him a little bit. Boom, then I'm gonna go to the studio. Now I'm in my Roddy mode. All right, cool.
Gotcha.
Homie's gonna pull up. All right, cool. Pull up. Hey, listen to some music. So I think it's one decision at a time. You know what I mean? And you can't just look at it like, how am I gonna change this whole situation with one decision? Just start with one decision.
Right.
One at a time. You know, I think that's the real.
What a celebration. One of the people who's on stage with him, because at a point Kendrick brought everyone up on stage, not everyone, but a lot of luminaries in LA hip hop and LA sports up on stage to celebrate with him. And there, see our guy right there? See our guy right behind him?
There he is.
Big Boy was on stage for the celebration. He is joining us right now. Big Boy, welcome back to TMZ Live. What a night,
Thank you. It was an incredible night, man. And he invited so many people up, you know, and the right ones, which I love. I went to that show, Ken and Friends. I went as a spectator. I love being in the audience. I wanted to be there because I knew that it was going to be historical. And to actually get up on that stage, man, I never thought I'm going to get on stage. That's not what I do. But that was a moment in time where I was like, man, I'm going outside of my norm and I have to be up there. I gotta feel this energy. I felt it just being in the forum, but being on that stage, man, to be a part of history was amazing, bro.
Yeah, talk about the people who came up there, man.
Man, just seeing Black Hippie together with seeing, Schoolboy Q, seeing, Ab-Soul, seeing, Kendrick on stage and J-Rock, and then just Mustard and his friends, you know what I'm saying? And I got one of my guys here right now, Roddy Ricch, that's in the neighborhood, and seeing Roddy come out on that stage as well. And Roddy actually canceled Paris to be there because that's how important it was to him.
What a night, huh?
Come on, always a good night when Kendrick and the homies is in the city. You know what I mean?
You were on stage. You were performing with Mustard. Maybe one of the best moments as far as LA performances for you.
I mean, there's just no place like home. You know, I feel like it was very electrifying to seeing everybody, in the building, seeing cousins, aunties. You know what I mean? The homies. It was a blessing. You know,
it was
what I mean?
Juneteenth, right? I mean,
it's a day we never gonna forget. You know what I mean? It's a day we never gonna forget. And I appreciate y'all for even, upping him. You know what I mean? Kendrick, that's he the top dog. You know what I mean? For sure.
West Coast.
And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this more about me and Kendrick. Roddy, thank you so much. Going back over there. Man.
You invite a guy over, man, and he just.
I saw what y'all did. I brought him in like, and then they wanted to just go straight with him.
Well, listen, big boy, we had to talk to him. You brought him over.
You brought him over.
We had to talk to him.
You brought him twice.
I didn't think that y'all was going to share that much with them. You know what I'm saying? Truth. Like, I'm in a position, Harvey and Charles, where I give a little bit of love, but not a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like
clearly.
Kendrick gave up the stage. Mustard gave up the stage. I'm not quite that comfortable yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As we're sitting down right here, man, it hasn't been presented to the world. But, Roddy, from the beginning, press play. Everybody in here, 911. This isn't us gassing you. Press play. You know, sometimes people say, "Oh, it got to grow on me." Press play. 911. You got it.
Come on.
Did you know that? Did you know that? You felt that?
It's a special record. With 911, this is actually the first record that I'm doing with 30 Rock, who did The Box. It's the first record since The Box that we doing a record together.
Is it crazy to go in because you have a formula with someone and it's like, damn, we, not that we trying to recreate that, but we got something so good.
No. It's a crazy story. It's a long story. I can't give it all right now, but he's a special dude, and that's gonna be it's a good moment. Good moment to have.
Really though.
Yeah.
Why with so many? Not records in between, but records in between. And this could have happened already.
Right.
Why is it happening now?
Timing, man.
Yeah.
Timing, growth.
Yeah.
Being able to be in the room and experiment and fellowship, you know what I mean? Learn a nigga outside of fuck the music. We got a lot of success, so you would think that that's where our mind would be, but it's learning people outside and you make the best music.
Hey, man, it's perfect for it right now, too. You know when people say, "Oh, we back outside. But for real, like, we are back outside. You know what I'm saying? And we right here, man. The sun is here. The summer's here.
Come on.
Was that intentional? Like, man, this is what I want this to feel like, tempo-wise and everything, though.
It just felt that way.
Yeah.
It felt that way.
Yeah, and we need this, man. I just got a Cadillac that's done. You know what I'm saying? For the summer. I got me a 78, bro.
Come on.
And this is one of those where it's like, we need an anthem. And tempo-wise and everything, bro. And that's what I say, man. You continue, like, you give us bragging points. You know what I'm saying? And it's easier. Like, people can say, "Oh, Big, I enjoy this, your phone tap." But when I could just press play and play a hit, it make my job much easier.
Come on, Big.
So keep doing that where I could just like, if I don't have to be creative for 3.5 minutes,
wow.
Boom. Keep that coming, man.
Roddy,
Let's make it happen right now, man. And we're not going to talk about it. Let's be about it, man. Roddy Ricch, the album is The Navy Album.
The Navy Album.
And that's the title. Yeah. Nothing's going to change because it's deeply rooted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to hear what we have on there, bro. And even out of your presence, man, when you're not in the neighborhood, we speak about you, bro. You're extremely talented. And when I saw you get down on Ken and Friends too, man, live, you ain't playing with them.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And you led up to the energy of knowing what else was going to come.
Come on.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I appreciate you for even making time for us, bro.
When you talk about the West
Is this him speaking about the West Coast right here? What was he talking about here?
Well, one of the first times when you had come in, he said that something that really bothered you is that when people speak of the West, they don't think like you're kind of a West Coast artist.
When you talk about the West, they don't even put me in the conversation, bro. That don't make sense. Is it because I don't sound like I'm from the West? Is it because
I remember this,
bro? I don't know what it is.
I think you sound dope as hell.
I got the best project in Compton tatted on my arm. I'm a real one. Stop playing with me.
Hey man, you felt that and that's a young Roddy too, though.
Young Roddy.
But you felt that. Do you feel that now the same? Because that's a like
nah. Say that.
Right. You sound a little what we've been talking about today, you sound a little bit like what we were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. How you gonna but that's also, bro, sometimes too, Roddy,
crazy.
You gotta tell people also how you want to be treated.
Right.
And I think that was you also telling people like, wait, hold on, man.
Yeah.
You know, like Muhammad Ali told you he was the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and the work spoke for it. The first person that said, called Michael Jackson the king of pop, you know how Michael Jackson the king of pop?
Right.
You know who coined the king of pop?
Him?
Michael Jackson said it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we said. So sometimes you do got to raise your hand and speak out. It's probably harder to listen to back now. But yeah, at that moment, you believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe that, you know, I'm a part of the West.
Yes,
man.
you are, bro.
It ain't nothing nobody could tell me. It ain't nothing. It ain't no tattoo. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing. It's the bloodline.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
there's no outside validation
Come on,
either, bro.
it ain't none of
And you
that.
represented us well on many stages around the world.
Come on.
And you gave the world a sound, and you gave the world hit records that
Humble
we
to
can
do
say
so.
our God.
Humble to do so.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and very much so. But you know, even in your most humble, we'll brag for you. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Because you gave us some sound and you gave us memories, man, that came from here.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And the world accepted, but it's nothing like, man, and taking, you know, Chuck and Head, but there's nothing like homegrown that gets presented to the world.
And I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't want to name drop, but I have to say that these days I feel a lot better because I feel like with the loss of Nip, you know, it was a person that I could always go to, you know, for advice, for anything. And I felt like at a point, you know, I had my, you know, Mustard YG, certain niggas that, you know, I got to watch their legacy, and they my homies, you know what I mean? And I got to watch them, and they always kept it G with me. But you know, now, you know, being able to pull up, you know, I pull up on Dre, you know what I mean, and being able to play my music, and he appreciated, you know what I mean, and like, hey man, I think you should, you know, do this instead of that, you know, but I fuck with it. I like what you doing, you know what I mean, and even Snoop, you know what I mean. Snoop always been, you know, around and been real vested, you know what I mean. But just being able to get these guys, I talked to Snoop, I said, man, your second album, how you feel about that? You know, so just these conversations, you know what I mean? I feel like just that embrace, you know what I mean? I'm finally, you know, I feel like I wasn't ready for it in that voice memo, you know what I mean? Now getting that embrace is it's nothing like it, man. So feeling that, you know, I think that also put a battery in my back to know, like, man, this shit ain't nothing nobody could tell me. You know what I mean?
Did you get a lot of life lessons in that small time with Nipsey as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Yep.
But like I said, I always say this. It wasn't what he said, it was what he did, you know, that I could learn a lot
So you
from.
saw it.
I seen it. Because I with him, you know, with Nip, he's 6'10". You know what I mean? I'm 5'5", 5'6" on a good day. You know what I mean? So with him, it's like you moving around with him, you don't want to be asking questions, looking up. You know what I mean? So you really just watching what he doing, how he moving, what he saying to his people, how he dealing with his brothers.
And speaking into truth, too.
Yeah. But how just, you know, his presence and what he was on, it was just way more. It was way more than words could put.
But you
know,
also
put into
watched
words.
it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you seen that you was looking at, you know, and somebody was paying tuition into the school of experience. Like you were looking at it.
I'm gonna give you a story, Big. When he did a radio show, right? So you know, as an artist, you got a show. You like, man, I got to do the radio show, but I want to bring my show and I want to do this and that. And what Nip did back 2018 was, okay, y'all want me to come do the show. I'm going to come do the show. I'm going to bring the younger homies that's not on the radio. And I'm going to bring them and I'm going to do my show. I'm going to bring Roddy out. I'm going to bring Bino out. I'm going to bring, you know, and it was just things like that to where you don't, in the moment, you like, all right, we doing a radio show. This nigga doing a festival. This is crazy.
And sharing his
bringing
platform.
niggas out. You know, it was like at back then, you know? So it's just watching that experience, you know, and he's not going to tell, hey, little bro, I'm going to the radio show.
Right.
I'm bringing everybody
you
out.
You realize what he was doing.
It was no talking.
He didn't have to say, man, I'm giving you guys my time.
It was demonstration.
Exactly.
Humbleness, you know what I mean? But demonstration, like, this is my city, and I love y'all so much that I want to give y'all this platform and
create it for others, man.
So,
and you have.
You know, when you got that birthday, you know, I'm pulling up.
All right. I mean? Believe that. I appreciate you, man.
Come on.
Roddy Ricch in the neighborhood, man. And we'll do it again, God willing. Roddy Ricch in the neighborhood, Big Boys neighborhood.